today. Got some Chick Fil A. I feel like I haven't done fast food in a minute on this channel. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's do a quick, it is what it is. Also got lemonade and a beet shake. Okay. So have you guys been? How's your summer going so far? I haven't done shit, and I don't know if we are. I don't know if we were gonna go to Biloxi this year or not, but I've basically just been chilling. And you know, they always give you napkins usually. Here are them. I never think to ask for any. But yeah, I felt like getting some Chick Fil A for today. I'm gonna look at my letterbox. I didn't have anything in particular that I wanted to talk about today. I'm gonna try and I need to slow down my speech. And I'm gonna try that out more as far as speaking slower. I know it's more ASMR to speak at a speed such as this, like more relaxing and quiet, which is something that I need to do. People have commented on it and said, like, oh, like, you should, you speak so dang fast, and sometimes the way that the comment is written, I don't know whether or not it's positive or negative. Like, do you like that I do this, or are you saying that I should stop? That I should stop doing it as fast? Let's see. Which movies have I vlogged this year? Sort by the ones that I added the newest. Okay, I watched The Blackening. I thought The Blackening was funny. It was funny because the person I watched this with pointed out that we watched it like I think two or 3 days after Juneteenth, so it would have been like more appropriate to actually watch the movie. Have you seen the movie? You get what I mean? But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was decent. I already talked about Circle and Project Almanac. Oh, The Descent. I don't remember much of this movie. I wasn't paying too much attention. Let's see, Marrowbone. This is that movie. I feel it iffy. I gave it a 2.5 star. If you don't know the concept, or if you don't know Marrowbone. Oh, and also, just to explain, because I didn't, The Blackening. It's these friends. That rent out a cabin in the woods. And they make a lot of like satirical racist jokes, kind of. Point out a lot of different things about black culture, or even just pop culture things. And they basically play like a Ouija board type game. No, not really a Ouija board, but it's like a Monopoly type game. You have to ask questions, and the questions will be black culture questions, like if you watch this show, who is this actor, things like that, to prove like how black you were. And if you weren't, if you got one of the questions wrong, then all of you would die, or all of the people would die. So they end up playing the game, and that's where it goes. Basically like a horror comedy. Marrowbone. It might be considered horror. It's more so like psychological thriller. There are aspects of it that are horrific. But it has Anya Taylor-Joy in it. And it has the woman from X. The main star of X. I forget her name. Miyakov. And the idea of it is you have these. It's this mom. And I said this when I watched the film. It reminds me. At first, the movie plays out. It reminds me a lot of a series of unfortunate events. How that initially plays out. Or like the very, very beginning of the Chronicles of Narnia. And the reason I say that is because there's an eldest son. A son that's younger than him, but always challenges him. And then two girls. So or is that three girls? It's 3 boys, 2 girls. The youngest is a boy, I think. I don't know. I'm just looking at the picture. It's hard for me to tell. I watched that movie like a couple weeks ago. But it also has the guy. He's in Stranger Things. He's Will's older brother. Can't remember his name at the moment. Is it Charlie Heaton? Yeah, it's Charlie Heaton. Okay. Unless his name is Charlie Heaton. But, so it's all of these kids. Oh, and Anya Taylor-Joy's character is a woman that, like, lives across from them. So it is 2 boys, 2 girls that are actually them. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Anyways. No, it's a boy. I'm stupid. 3 boys, 1 girl is like the main family. And then Anya Taylor-Joy's just there. But anyways, it doesn't matter. The beginning is that they leave England and I think come to America because their dad essentially was found out for some either crimes or something like that. So they were obviously in some kind of like abusive relationship. The mom and the dad. So they fled from England to America, I believe. It's either England to America or America to England. I want to say it's from England to America. But soon, the mom falls ill. And soon the mom falls ill. Passes away. Well, the kids, all of them are under 18. The eldest son is the closest to becoming 18. He's like 17 or something. So, when their mom dies, basically he has to wait until he's 18. So he can adopt all of his kids, otherwise if they found them, they would split them all up. It's essentially what the main premise is, and so they're basically trying to not find out that they're, some down. And I will spoil it. So if you're interested in watching it, you should probably go and do that. Because I mean, I found it decent. It started like it started losing me at some point. So I can't remember at what point in the film. I can't remember at what point in the film that it started losing me. All I can remember is that it just started losing me at some point. But eventually, more and more weird shit happens. The dad tracks him down. And then I can't remember. I think they killed it. Did they kill their dad, or did their dad track them down? The reason I'm confused about this detail, you learn that like I might need to just give it a rewatch. They keep something in like a top in like their attic or something. And I think it may have been their dad or something like that. Because I think something in the paper was about their dad going missing or something like that, or accused of, or whatever, right? Eventually what you learn, because no one goes to that house for a long time, even Anya Taylor-Joy's character. And at the very end of the film, she goes up to him, and he's playing all of the parts of all of the different family members, like the little kid that they take care of, his younger sister, his younger brother. Like he's individually playing all of those characters. And so you've realized that you don't know when it happened, but at some point you underwent, like, schizophrenic delusions, essentially. And I don't know if I fuck with that ending. I liked it for its creativity. I just didn't appreciate how long it took to get there. Because some movies, they like, there's peach chunks that get caught at the bottom of this. So, the issue that I have with a lot of movies, horror movies, and movies in general, but I don't need this 45 minutes of not really anything happening to build suspense for the ending. And I know that a lot of movies do that to make time. There's metaphors. And whatever that's called. It's not called an interlude. It's whatever. I don't know if that's relaxing to listen to or not. I'll have to probably cut that out. But there's that part, what I really dislike in movies, and think about this if when you're gonna give movie reviews to me, and not in a way, not in a judgmental way, but like I'm gonna say genuinely, hey, this is how I feel about this movie, and I don't have to like every movie, obviously, but one thing about movies that I dislike is when there's these long periods of time where nothing is really happening and we're kind of just sat to like sit there because like there things are happening on screen, obviously, but I'm still deciding like whether or not I care about it, right? There's like that internal part, at least for me, when I watch a film, where I'm like, I'm determining still if this is something that I actually even give a fuck about. And I feel like a lot of movies, that specific part, like for instance, there'll be the introductory period, which every movie, there's like 30 minutes. The first 30 or 40 minutes is meant to make me intrigued about whatever the hell is happening, make me care about the characters, at least enough so that when you explain plot to me that I actually care about it, right? A lot of movies will lose me in 40 minutes. Now, I still completely watch them all the way through, but if I've decided that I'm bored in like 50 minutes into a film, I don't want to feel bored 50 minutes in. You know what I mean? If an entire hour goes by and I'm bored, why is half the movie boring? Like, I don't like that. Even if the second half is banging, like I would really not like the first half, and I would still rate the movie according to that. And that's how I rate like a lot of movies, and pretty much all of them. I rate them on the same scale. What I felt from this movie is that there's the beginning period, which it has me on a hook. I'm interested for a while, and then it starts trailing off and getting weird, and then it gets more weird, and it's because they're trying to build you towards this point of that twist. I didn't care about the twist because I thought it was interesting and I thought it was creative and I enjoyed the way that it built up to that point. But I'm not gonna care about the twist if I can't care about the twist if like I can't care about the twist of the film if I didn't care about really anything else happening like 30 minutes prior leading up to that point. So that's pretty much where I'm at. And a lot of films, they don't make me care, and I want to care. Make me care about your characters in your film, or the plot. Make me care about it. I want to enjoy it. But they're not. A lot of movies aren't good at doing that. Really, they don't introduce me. Now, like I guess there's like a difference if you're really highly invested into a film, and the film, you're like, wow, okay, this particular film made me, this film really, made me like really enjoy it or whatever. But I don't know. Marrowbone is okay. I gave it 2.5 out of 5. I like creativity, but I don't like another thing. I guess I can get into movie pet peeves. I don't like when movies are overly artsy and pretentious just because they think that they have to do that to get, I get that you have to be different, you have to do things in a different way, but if it's too artsy, that is so boring to me. It gets so boring, and I have a friend I watch movies with, and they'll show things to me, and I'm trying to lock in and enjoy a film, but I've been called like a tough customer by multiple people when I watch films because there are things that can happen. Like, okay, for instance, my favorite horror films that I've seen recently, Parasite's really good. Speak No Evil, I really enjoy that. I like horror films where there is action, there's things going on, and what I loved about Parasite, you care about that family. You care that they're trying to get their bag and that they're trying to get themselves out of poverty. You actually are supposed to care. So when everything happens in the film, that happens. And that may be a bit of a spoiler if you know the plot, but I just go watch it in general. You want them to succeed, so everything that happens in the movie is a big deal. I felt that when I watched Parasite. If I don't feel that in other films, and Parasite is really good in Speak No Evil. They lock you in really quickly with like a level of eeriness. There's something weird that's happening. There's something that's going on that, Parasite, it takes a little bit more to build to that, but it's like there's something weird or eerie going on that you want to find out what's gonna happen next. There are a bunch of movies that that do an artsy thing, but I can't. Oh, this is an art. This is a metaphor for trauma, or this is a metaphor for how people deal in relationships. This is a metaphor. Like, I get that things have to be metaphorical and things have to be like artistic, and I'm not hating on that. I am hating on it a little bit, but when that takes away from making the movie entertaining, when it takes away from the movie actually trying to be a movie, in my case, is like, be entertaining. I'm here to be entertained. I'm here to be brought out of my world. If I'm sitting and watching your movie and I'm bored, like, I can't. And then maybe you can call me like, oh, well, you just watch lowbrow things or whatever. Nah, like, I think the main problem with movies need to be entertaining. I don't care the message. Make me care about the message, but be entertaining before you have the message. If the only thing that a movie does is that it promotes some sort of message without being entertaining, then I can't care about the message. Like, there's this movie recently that I watched. I recently watched It's What's Inside. Don't really fuck with it. The ending was weird. That is a movie that was entertaining, but then even the message and everything that happened, it just got so weird. I don't care for it. People really enjoyed it. I didn't care for it that much. What's another movie I recently watched? I forgot what it was called. Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but let's see. No, I don't think I logged it on my Letterboxd. I don't know. There's this movie about this guy who got this job at this company. Hold on. Sorry to Bother You. That's what it's called. I recently watched Sorry to Bother You, and it was interesting and a little bit like the comedy and everything loops you in 30 minutes, but then by 40 minutes or 50 minutes in, I was bored. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was kind of bored. It just, movies, they will lock me in, and then once I start feeling bored, I check my phone here and there, but I'll still be watching, but I don't pick up on every little thing that happens, because I'm not glued to the screen. My eyes aren't glued to the screen. And then when the movie finishes, I feel like unsatisfied, like, I was not thoroughly entertained. I didn't like that. And that general sense, that feeling, is how I judge movies, generally speaking, is, well, I try to use actual characteristics and identify things that, well, I actually enjoyed this part, enjoyed that part, or enjoyed that part. But there's not like a lot of, internally I do a self-assessment. Was I entertained? Was I not? Yes or no? Well, that movie is probably going to be either like a 2 or 2.5. If I'm not, like, the reason I give it points is because I can recognize there's aspects of it that may not just be for me, and there's aspects of it that are interesting that everyone wants to watch for, and I want to respect that. But I can recognize a movie being good and it just not being for me. But that frustrates me because I feel like a movie I should just rate it lower because I realize it's not for me. But that's not really fair, because if I'm not the target audience, of course I would rate it bad. So I don't want to give it a bad rating just because I'm not the target audience. I should probably be more like considered or cognizant or whatever you want to call it to the idea that I'm if I'm watching something and it doesn't vibe with me, then that doesn't mean it's bad. But it's hard to feel that way because every time I watch a movie that I don't feel like is good, then obviously that means it's bad, right? So, I mean, yeah, like, that's pretty much where I'm at with movies. And I'm gonna keep watching movies and doing reviews and stuff. I am watching a couple animes, so I'm going to keep you guys in you know, I'm gonna try and do some more, a variety of content. I want to do a couple role plays, and I'm gonna try and do those, and you guys can let me know how you feel. Peony ASMR recently came back to the YouTube space, uploading like once a day for like a week or a week and a half. She's been daily uploading, and that's really awesome. But I think I'll try doing some role plays. I have nothing that's super original, but there's like a couple things I want to try, and after tomorrow I'm going to try and see if I can get some of those uploaded. I'll have like a lot of time to myself, so I'm going to use different parts of my house and try and set it up to where I think I can do some pretty convincing role plays and stuff. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments anything I talked about, your thoughts on it, ideas for future videos you think I should do, role plays you think I should try. I'll screenshot them and keep them in my phone, or I'll write them down somewhere and make sure and if I think it's a good idea, I'll give it a shot, because that way I can see if there's another aspect of my an audience that I can attract, right, for role plays and things, because I do enjoy the eating content, and I do enjoy doing it, but in the thumbnail and the mukbangs, want to branch out a bit, and struggling to figure out where I have an intense feeling of failure. That's something I can get into. Maybe that'll be a nice other video I can kind of talk about and get into at some point. But I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed, and you guys have a great rest of your day and or night or